Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 109th episode of my series where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it had, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. While the iconic duo of Guru and DJ Premier is no stranger to this channel, I haven't talked nearly as much about their killer collective, Gangstar Foundation. There were a number of talented MCs and acts to fall under this umbrella, but some of the names included guys like Bumpy Knuckles, aka Freddie Fox, Afu Ra, Wu-Tang affiliate True Master, MOP, and of course the legend we're focusing on today, Jeru the Damaja. He was actually one of the first three acts to be signed to the foundation, along with Big Shug, its founder, and both members of the legendary duo group Home, those being Lil Dap and Melody the Nutcracker. Disregarding the top LPs that Gangstar put out themselves, I think out of all the classic material released through this collective, Jeru's debut album, The Sun Rises in the East, sticks out the most. It was classics like these that helped diversify the vast New York hip hop scene in the 90s and bridge the gap between the more hardcore, uncompromising rappers like Onyx with the more socially aware and thoughtful acts like De La Soul, similar to what Nas was doing around the same time. In fact, this album actually dropped the same year as both Illmatic and Ready to Die, the latter of which actually features a diss towards Jeru the Damaja on the classic track Kick in the Door. And it helped usher in the progressive jump in lyricism that rap music would make heading into the latter half of the decade. As I displayed in my review for The Coup's Genocide and Jews a couple videos back, there's a staggering amount of classic LPs released from New York alone in 1994. Even still, Drew's amazing debut here is practically always brought up when people are discussing the best albums of that year. His contemporaries definitely knew he stood out as he got the final verse on the insanely underrated Posse Cut 1-2 Pass It, which I assume is so slept on due to it being released through a compilation album in 1995. If this legendary track went under your radar, I highly recommend giving it a listen, as outside of Jeru, this killer lineup consisted of hip-hop titans like Mad Lion, Dougie Fresh, Fat Joe, KRS-One, and both Tech and Steel of Smith& Wesson, with the classic instrumental being produced by DJ Premier to top it all off. While it's hard not to award the Blastmaster with the top verse, you can make a very good argument that Jeru had the best one, which is probably why he had the honor of finishing the song off. He actually has a sophomore album that's every bit as dope as his debut called Wrath of the Math, but I thought it made a bit more sense to discuss The Sun Rises in the East first, since it's definitely the most iconic release in the Damages discography. Part of this is due to the haunting yet very well composed album cover, which at first glance may just seem like the usual, if above average, boom bap album cover art, but under closer investigation, it becomes much more chilling. If you're my age or older, you may recognize the burning buildings in the background as the infamous Twin Towers, but unlike some other controversial material in the genre, this came long before the September 11th attacks. However, as you probably know, there's really nothing that odd or unexplained about this, as just like Biggie's Time to Get Paid blow up like the World Trade line the same year, both are referencing the 1993 bombing that took place at the World Trade Center. While that doesn't have much to do with the actual music itself, it is an element that becomes difficult to ignore once you notice it, and it definitely gives the experience a darker undertone than it already had. However, the real experience stems from Jeru's witty and inventive lyrics, paired with his rugged yet studied flow. While fellow Gainstar Foundation affiliate Afu Ra has a guest appearance on here, the production side is 100% handled by DJ Premier. One technique he uses across this project that I love is when he'll take a line or snippet from other prominent MCs and use them in a new context. For example, when he completely flips KRS-One's Brooklyn Keeps on Taking It into a dope hook. Sometimes he'll even take Jeru's own vocals from one track on this LP and repurpose them for a beat on a different one. Some of the coldest and most memorable instrumentals Premier has ever thrown together appear on this stellar debut, and alongside Jeru's rapid-fire lyrics, they create one of the most memorable and outstanding releases to come from a year that, as I mentioned already, was not exactly light on competition. For tracks I heavily enjoyed that didn't quite make the cut for top 3 this time around, I'd name The Original, Ain't the Devil Happy, Come Clean, East New York Radio, Brooklyn Took It, Jungle Music, and Static. My favorite songs overall on this one would have to be My Mind Spray, Mental Stamina, and You Can't Stop the Profit. Thank you for watching my 109th video. For the next one, we're going to stay in the Mecca to discuss one of my favorite duos to ever grace the genre. So tune in for that one, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite moments off this awesome debut are. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.